Welcome to my YouTube channel, everybody. I'm going to be doing some videos of alternative history, including presidential elections, to see who would have won potential different matchups. So we're going to start with the 2020 election between the Republican nominee, President Donald Trump, and the Democratic nominee, Senator Bernie Sanders. So let's take a look at the Republican nominee. Incumbent President Donald Trump, 74 years old, chairman of the Trump Organization from 1971 to 2017, and has been the 45th president of the United States since 2017. The Democratic nominee, Senator Bernie Sanders, 79 years old, was mayor of Burlington, Vermont in the 1980s, a congressman from 1991 to 2007, and has been senator from Vermont since 2007. The Republican vice presidential nominee under Donald Trump is the incumbent Vice President Mike Pence, 61 years old, congressman from 2001 to 2013, governor of Indiana from 2013 to 2017, and has been the 48th vice president under President Trump since 2017. The Democratic vice presidential nominee under Bernie Sanders is Senator Elizabeth Warren, 71 years old, is the Congressional Oversight Chair, special advisor for the CFPB, and since 2013 has been senator from Massachusetts. Let's look at the latest poll. Bernie Sanders leads Donald Trump 47 to 46%, with 7% of the voters undecided. So in the latest poll, Sanders leads Trump by 1 point. So welcome to election night 2020. Who will win, the incumbent president or the Democratic challenger? In our first state of Alabama, no surprise, Donald Trump wins by 30 points. In Alaska, Donald Trump will win 59 to 41%. Arizona goes to the Trump campaign, a big victory for Donald Trump, 55 to 45%. Arkansas will go to Donald Trump, 65 to 35%. No surprise there in Arkansas. So far, Trump has 29 electoral votes, Bernie Sanders 0. In the state of California, no surprise, Bernie Sanders defeats Donald Trump by 30 points. Colorado will go to Bernie Sanders, 54 to 46%. Connecticut will go to Bernie Sanders by 20 points. So far, Bernie Sanders takes the lead, 71 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 29. Delaware will go to Bernie Sanders, 60 to 40%. Also in Washington, D.C., no surprise there, by a whopping landslide. So far, Bernie Sanders, 77, Donald Trump, 29. Donald Trump wins his home state of Florida, 52 to 48%, a big victory for Donald Trump in Florida. Georgia will go to Donald Trump, 56 to 44%. Bernie Sanders wins Hawaii, 70 to 30%. Donald Trump will win the state of Idaho by a lot, 70 to 30%. Illinois will go to Bernie Sanders by 20 points. The home state of Vice President Pence will go to Donald Trump by 20 points. Iowa will go to President Trump, 53 to 47%. So far, Bernie Sanders maintains a 101 to 95 lead. Donald Trump wins Kansas, 66 to 34%. He'll win Kentucky, 65 to 35%. So far, Donald Trump takes the lead, 109 to Bernie Sanders, 101. Donald Trump wins Louisiana, 62 to 38%. Bernie Sanders wins the state of Maine, 53 to 47%. Bernie Sanders will also win Maryland, no surprise there. Bernie Sanders wins Massachusetts, no surprise there, a heavily Democratic state. Bernie Sanders, we can project, will win the state of Michigan, 53 to 47%, a huge victory for the Sanders campaign, a state he needs to win the presidency. He'll also win the state of Minnesota by 10 points, a state Donald Trump almost carried 4 years ago in 2016. President Trump wins Mississippi, 62 to 38%, no surprise in the southern state of Mississippi. He'll also win Missouri by about 20 points as well. He'll win Montana, 61 to 39%. So let's take a look at what we got so far. Bernie Sanders has 152 electoral votes for Donald Trump's 136. Donald Trump will win the state of Nebraska, 66 to 34% in a landslide. Bernie Sanders wins Nevada, 52 to 48%, a big victory for Bernie Sanders. Sanders will win New Hampshire, 54 to 46%. He'll win the Democratic state of New Jersey by about 20 points. He'll also win New Mexico by about 10 points. Bernie Sanders wins the state he was born in, New York, a state Donald Trump was also born in, 64 to 36%. Donald Trump wins North Carolina, 54 to 46%, a huge victory for the Trump campaign. Donald Trump wins North Dakota, 68 to 32%. So far, Bernie Sanders at 210, Donald Trump at 159. Trump wins the state of Ohio, 53 to 47%, a huge victory for Donald Trump in the great state of Ohio. Oklahoma, a Republican state, will go to the Republican nominee, Donald Trump. Oregon will go to Bernie Sanders, 58 to 42. Bernie Sanders at 217, Donald Trump is at 184. We can project Bernie Sanders has won the state of Pennsylvania, 52 to 48%, a huge victory for Bernie Sanders. We can project Bernie Sanders wins the heavily Democratic state of Rhode Island, while Donald Trump wins the heavily Republican state of South Carolina. He also wins South Dakota, no surprise there. So far, Bernie Sanders at 241, inching ever so closely to 270. Donald Trump at 196. Tennessee will go to Donald Trump, 64 to 36%. In a state the Democrats hope to flip this year, they will not. Texas will go to Donald Trump. And just like that, Donald Trump has taken the lead at 245 to Sanders 241. Utah will go to Trump, while Bernie Sanders' home state of Vermont will go to Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders wins Virginia 54 to 46%. So far, Sanders at 257, Trump at 251. Folks, this is a nail-biter. Bernie Sanders will win Washington State 58 to 42%, while Donald Trump wins the heavily Republican state of West Virginia. Donald Trump will win Wisconsin, a state he flipped 4 years ago. He will narrowly win again, 50.2 to 49.8%. And Wyoming will go to Donald Trump in a whopping landslide, no surprise there. Folks, look what we got. Donald Trump and Mike Pence, 269. Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, 269. Bernie Sanders wins the popular vote, but this election is going to the House of Representatives. All right, here we go. Alabama will go to Trump. Alaska will go to Trump as well. Arkansas will go to Trump. Florida and Georgia will go to Trump, while Sanders wins the states of Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, and Hawaii. Trump wins Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, and Louisiana, no surprise, while Sanders, no surprisingly, wins Illinois, Maine, Maryland, and Massachusetts. The state of Michigan, their representatives are split, so that state will not go to any candidate. Same with Minnesota. That state is split 4-4. Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Carolina go to Trump. Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York will go to Sanders. Trump will win North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. Sanders wins Oregon and Rhode Island. Pennsylvania, a key state, will be split 9-9. Sanders wins his home state of Vermont, Virginia, and Washington, while Trump wins West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. With that, we can project Donald Trump wins 27 states, Bernie Sanders wins 20 states with 3 split states, and with that, we can project Donald Trump, the President of the United States, has been reelected to a second term. Donald Trump defeats Bernie Sanders in 2020. And the Senate vote for Vice President, Mike Pence casts the tie-breaking vote for himself. 51 to 50, Mike Pence has been reelected Vice President of the United States. So we have some breaking news here. Sanders has conceded and has congratulated President Trump on another 4 years in the White House and offered him his full cooperation and willingness to help in any way possible. Inauguration Day 2021, Trump and Pence have been sworn in again. The inauguration of Donald Trump and Mike Pence was a historic event that brought together people from all walks of life to witness the event. Marked a major milestone in the history of the United States. It was a testament to the commitment of the American people to its democratic system of government. Vice President Pence was sworn in first, and President Trump followed, both taking the oath of office with their hands placed upon a Bible. Following the oath, President Trump delivered an address that spoke to the strength of the American people and the power of democracy. So once again, Donald Trump defeats Bernie Sanders. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. I will be having more videos coming soon. I hope you enjoy. Thank you very much.